Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, hello, welcome to the Caiden Cowger program, broadcasting from West Virginia. It is great to have you with us. So I am in my new studio. We completely renovated from the old one, and the green walls are gone. We changed that to a cream tan color. Really looks absolutely great. Put up white trim. We have a darker cream baseboard for the bottom, and have the American flag behind me. And we're still looking at doing some different things in the background. I'll be getting that sorted out as the weeks go by. But I really think it's a major improvement from the last one. I like it. It's just more of a professional radio feel to it. And I really just love the new studio. So I got to tell you, we have some really great things planned for here in the future. I'm looking at doing some different things with the show. I want a better way that I can connect with you, my audience, and be better activated in that area. And I have an idea that I'm going to be unveiling in the next few weeks, getting everything done with that. We're working on the new CaidenCowgerProgram.com, getting that website up and running. And then we also have a new means of outreach, a new way that you can listen to this program. And I really think that this new method of outreach is going to be the future. So we're definitely jumping on that. And hope you guys will really like that idea that I have, and I'm sure that you will, because it's really going to be placing us in eventually every single American's home. So it's really just going to be a major thing to look forward to in the future when this fully takes effect. But it's really going to nationalize this show, nationalize any show that practically we want to. So it gives us the free reign of all the as all the, big presidents of various media organizations have, because we're going to be able to start advancing people ourselves, I believe, and also providing you with great radio content. So that's something to look forward to in the future. We're going to be basically, if this, plan takes effect and it actually works, we're going to be the media bosses rather than what we're seeing with the mainstream media. Because I got to tell you guys, that I've really been, the last few weeks, putting a lot of focus on what to expect in the future, because I can tell you that from my end, I'm always wanting to stay on top of everything. I want to stay on top of the media. I want to establish an alternative media organization that offers a great alternative to what you can watch on Fox News or listen to on the radio, depending on what type of station it is. Of course, with all of our affiliates, we want to make sure that they aren't left behind too. So we inform them of some of the ideas that we have in order to better advance their networks, and then also help out our channel, or help out this station, and help out this show. But there's really some sharp turns that are being made regarding the media. And as the weeks go by, I'm going to be releasing more and more information about what we have that's going to be established, what we're going to be releasing, what we're going to see in the near future. Because I got news for you guys. I'm not going to tell all of you my plans yet because I don't want to give it away. Kind of like Trump fighting Al-Qaeda. We're not going to tell them the plan before we do it, okay? We're going to tell them afterwards. Oh, there, we did it. Oh, here's what we did. So that's it's history. We're not going to tell you the future. We're going to tell you history after it's done. But anyway, once I get everything established and we have everything running, then I'll give you some insight as to what you can expect to see in the future. But I will tell you this, that the media is changing. The media is changing. The regular mediums that you listen to right now are evolving, and they're changing over time. Television is changing. Radio is changing. You have a ton of various outlets that are just completely evolving. You have the guy from the New York Times that said that print media is probably going to be dead in 10 years. There are some traditionalists that don't agree with that perspective on things. Well, there's still going to be newspapers in 10 years. And I've heard that, repetitively, but, it's really just, it's really risky to me to say that traditional markets are not going to evolve, because I'm seeing stuff out there that is far greater than what presently exists, that is far more efficient than what presently exists. I'm seeing radios, and that I'll describe them as that. I've recently, within the last few days, I've been messing around with something that is a new piece of technology equivalent to that of a radio. And it is just so much better than radio. I mean, it's radio, but it is like a new and improved version of radio. And it's something that every station that we're affiliated with can get on and also begin to start dabbling into and looking into becoming established on, because I'm telling you, it is just so absolutely phenomenal what is in the future for us. So what this basically is meaning for all you guys that are kind of, well, what's he really talking about? Well, I'll tell you what I'm talking about. And you can just keep this in the back of your mind that we're going to get to the news. But what I'm describing to you is basically going to completely change the way that Americans receive their news and information, the way that they listen to radio and all that. It's going to completely change everything. And the networks that are in the mainstream now are going to be humbled, just as Scripture says. The prideful are going to be humbled because they're going to be put on an equal level playing field with everybody else. I'm talking about organizations like CNN, MSNBC, NBC, Fox News. They are going to be put on the same exact level as your neighbor Joe across the street if he would choose to get involved in media. So it's going to completely change everything. Now, they have a little bit of an advancement because they're already popular. Everyone already knows their name. But if you come up with a catchy name or a name that really has public appeal, that is easy to pronounce, easy to say, you are going to be able to advance in media. That's how easy it's going to be. So there is a completely new way of listening to the media. It's going to completely take it out of the hands of the government and put it back into the private sector, which is completely remarkable. So that's just something that you can look forward to in the future. What I'm describing to you, I'll be telling you more about that as the days go by. But there again, that's why you want to listen to this show and no other. No, no, I'm kidding. Be here or nowhere, like Michael Savage says. But no, listen to Rush Limbaugh. He's a good guy. Mark Levin's a good guy too. Michael Savage, he's all right too. You can listen to those guys. Mark Levin would kill me if he heard that I, said Savage. So would Sean Hannity. Listen to him also. But but anyway, you get the idea. Just stay tuned into this show because there's some really cool stuff that we're going to be releasing here in the near future that's going to completely expand your mind, expand your view on technology, where technology is headed, and it just absolutely amazes me, just exactly where we're going. So anyway, let's get to what we have going on in the news. We have Donald Trump that, my goodness, he's getting bashed left and right by the media, but the government's been giving him a hard time ever since he got elected. Okay, it hasn't just been Democrats, it's also been the GOP. Well, anyway, what is now going on is that apparently senators have blocked Trump's immigration reforms. It's according to Breitbart News. Okay, 60 Democrats and business first establishment Republican senators blocked the president's populist immigration reform agenda, pushing the hot button topic towards the November election. Democratic leader Chuck Schumer in his used his brief speech before the vote to blame President Trump for the Democrats' refusal to accept a reform for amnesty deal. Chuck Schumer said this: President Trump created this problem by terminating the DACA program last August. Oh yeah, it's Donald Trump's fault. Since then, President Trump has stood in the way over every single proposal that could become law. Oh my goodness. President Trump has failed his test of leadership spectacularly. That's what old Checky said. The Trump-backed bill led by Iowa Senator Chuck Grassley lost by 39 to 60, showcasing the political clout of the tactic alliance between pro-immigration progressive Democrats and business-first Republicans. Many business groups had pressured the GOP senators to vote against the reforms, largely because Trump promised to cut future legal immigration levels. The defeat may block pending Senate negotiations over the appropriation of $1.6 billion for the border wall spending in 2018. The funding decision is slated for completion competition. Yeah, that too. Completion in late March. The defeat also invites Trump to make immigration reform a central issue in the November election. So here's the deal, guys. Okay. So a combination of establishment yahoos and, both Democrat and Republican have decided to completely obstruct Trump's agenda. You have Chuck Schumer that's fighting. Of course, they're not going to get on board with anything, even though many of them were advocating for immigration reform, not very many years ago. You had Obama that originally, when in the earlier years of his administration, he was saying, oh, yeah, we need to cut back illegal immigration. We really need to look at maybe changing some things up there because it's not good for the American people. I mean, they're saying the same exact stuff. We had, of course, Bill Clinton doing the same exact thing. We really need to support to really secure the border. We just can't have these people coming across the border breaking our law. I mean, we had Bill Clinton, Obama, both saying the same exact stuff that Trump's saying. And now that Donald Trump has made this a primary issue, the Democrats are completely coming all out against Donald Trump because why? They want the illegal immigrant vote. They want to make these people, these illegal immigrants, that is, they want to make them legal voting citizens so that when November rolls around, they can vote Democrat. Because, as I've said countless amounts of times on this program, that when illegal immigrants become voting American citizens, what ends up happening is that they vote Democrat, that's about it, Democrat practically every time. They're on crack. But they vote Democrat practically every single time. Now, how do we know this? Because we already tried it once. Once again, we'll go to historical reflection. Back in 1986, Republicans passed amnesty. They went from having 37% of the Hispanic vote in the 1984 election with Walter Mondale versus Ronald Reagan. The Democrats only received, or the Republicans only received 37% of the Hispanic vote. Okay, but then the following election, in 1988, after Republican-backed amnesty passed in 88 of President Bush versus Dukakis, Republicans only received 30% of the Hispanic vote. So what happened there? It dropped 7%. So after Republican-backed amnesty, Republicans lost 7% of the Hispanic vote, when primarily all of the illegal immigrants at that time period were Hispanic that Republicans gave legal citizenship to. So they lost 7% of the Hispanic vote because of amnesty. So what does that tell you? Republicans are going to, once again, if they support amnesty, they are going to bite themselves in the derriere once again. And on top of that, Democrats are going to remember the good old days. Happy days are here again. We're getting amnesty again. So they're going to get amnesty again. They're going to get more Democratic voters, and Republicans are just going to shoot themselves in the foot, just like Dick Cheney did to that one guy that he went on the hunting campaign with. So, I mean, it's just really absolutely stupid for the GOP to even consider amnesty, because it does absolutely nothing for us. All you've got to do is look at history. And on top of that, it's not good for the country, because we are giving legal status to a ton of people that deliberately broke our laws. I mean, Nancy Pelosi, did you ever hear what Nancy Pelosi said? I'm going to have to play that audio bit on this program sometime. But Nancy Pelosi specifically said, well, illegal aliens should only go home if they do something illegal. That is the way the Democrats in Washington think. They should only go home if they do something illegal. Nancykins, they did something illegal as soon as they came into the country legally. So I got to tell you, it's just so absolutely ludicrous what the Democrats put this nation through with their inability to comprehend basic understandings of legality and the American immigration process. So absolutely pathetic.
Fighting liberalism one lie at a time.
Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
Hey guys, so let me tell you about a great company, NerdProWriting.com. NerdPro Writing is absolutely wonderful. They assist students in middle school, in high school, in college with writing essays, and they're a company that can be of great help if you know somebody or if you are the one struggling in getting your work turned in. They have absolutely great professional services at a very affordable cost, so go there right now. That is NerdProWriting.com. That is NerdPro Writing.com.
Refresh, replenish, restore, and hydrate the right way with Progene Premium Electrolyte Enhanced Water. Unlock the alkaline pH performance power of professional athlete developed and fitness community endorsed Progene Water. Available in 9.5 pH electrolyte enhanced or our new all natural 8.0 pH additive free mineral spring water. Available at 7-Eleven and online at Amazon.com. Progene Water, hydrating the world one bottle at a time.
All children around the world deserve an education. Sadly, not all children have that opportunity. Distance Teaching and Mobile Learning is a non-profit organization dedicated to transforming the lives of children in impoverished areas of the world. They believe that education not only transforms lives, but rebuilds economies. Distance Teaching and Mobile Learning are doing incredible work right now in Uganda, Ethiopia, Venezuela, and Colombia, and are asking you to support their important work. A donation of just $20 can make a change in the life of a child. Also, corporate sponsors are welcome. To learn more and to donate, visit blog.dtml.org. Students are waiting for your help. blog.dtml.org.
You're listening to the home of Caiden Cowger on your local station, America's youngest syndicated talk personality.
Today's show is brought to you by Go Epic Health, makers of Cholesterade, the natural way to lower cholesterol. Invented by the creator of Gatorade, Dr. J. Robert Cade, Cholesterade is clinically proven to lower cholesterol levels by 21%. Avoid the harmful side effects of statin drugs. Cholesterade works to naturally lower cholesterol and promote healthy weight loss. Order today and use promo code LDL25 to get 25% off your order, or find a store near you at www.drinkcholesterade.com.
Hey guys, let me tell you about our sponsor, NerdProWriting.com. NerdProWriting.com assists students in middle school, high school, in college with writing essays, and they do so as a service. They're a relatively new company, just started this year. For more information, you can go to NerdProWriting.com. That is NerdProWriting.com. Once again, that is Nerd, N-E-R-D, Pro, P-R-O, Writing.com.
Have a brand, organization, or business? Consider becoming a sponsor of the Caiden Cowger program. Reaching over 6 states, the Caiden Cowger program offers wide coverage. I'm sure you've heard that radio is dead, but research shows that 93% of Americans listen to the radio, including 92% of millennials. That's greater than television, internet, and smartphone usage. Radio isn't dead. After all, aren't you hearing this? 84% of drivers cite radio as their primary in-car entertainment device. This means your sponsorship spot is reaching consumers closest to their point of purchase. In addition, talk is the second most listened to radio format. Sponsoring the Caiden Cowger program is actually quite simple. We tell our listeners who you are, what your business does, and how to get in touch with you. It helps you and keeps our program on the air. For more information, go to www.CaidenCowgerProgram.com/sponsor. That's www.CaidenCowgerProgram.com/sponsor.
This is President Donald J. Trump, and I would like to tell you, all of my loyal supporters, and you're all very loyal, to listen to the Caiden Cowger program on your local station. Caiden Cowger is a great guy, does an amazing job, loves Trump, and is making radio great again. His show is huge. Also, his Twitter account, @Caiden Cowger, is very bigly. So bigly, it's almost as good as Trump's. So go ahead and give him a follow. Let's make his Twitter followers number greater than Rosie O'Donnell's poor bathroom scale. Now that would be an accomplishment. You can also give him a follow on Instagram via @Caiden Cowger. Thank you, and let's make radio and America great again.
Caiden Cowger.
Somebody had to say it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Caiden Cowger program. Great to have you with us. So we have this shooting that took place yesterday over in Florida. 17 people were killed. However, none of the others that were hospitalized have lost their lives. So that is good news on that front. No one else has lost their lives. So continue keeping all the people in prayer that are presently hospitalized. Keep the families of the victims in prayer, that for God to comfort them. May they grieve properly. But it's just an absolutely horrific event that took place. Well, this is according to the Sun-Centennial, which is a newspaper over in Florida. They're reporting that the shooter has confessed to this incident. So this is the article from the Sun-Centennial. Accused Parkland, Florida school shooter, I'm not going to say his name on air, admitted his guilt to detectives, saying that he discarded his AR-15 rifle and ammunition magazines at the scene and escaped by blending into the crowd of fleeing students, according to the arrest reports. So it says, after slipping away, he went to a Subway inside a nearby Walmart for a drink. Then he headed to a McDonald's before he was arrested without incident by an officer who recognized his description. He arrived on campus at 2:19 on Wednesday in an Uber car. Oh, I'm sure that Uber driver feels great, whose driver has since then spoken with detectives. Man, that'd be a bad, horrible thing to have on you. I mean, it's not the Uber driver's fault, of course. Absolutely not. But you know that he's probably taken some type of credit for it, or she, whoever it may be. So, just don't be so hard on yourself. You probably didn't have any idea that was going to happen. Plus, you're not the one that pulled the trigger, so, take it easy. But anyway, it says that he drove on campus at 2:19 in an Uber car, blah, 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 already read that. As he walked through the school, shooting students, teachers, and staff, he fired well over 100 shots. According to a law enforcement source. The shooter stated that he was the gunman that entered the school campus armed with an AR-15 and began shooting students. So he just walked into the building, started shooting students he saw in the hallways and also on the school grounds. Says that was according to a report from the Broward County Sheriff's Office. The shooter stated that he brought additional loaded magazines to the school and that he kept all of them hidden in a backpack until he got on campus to begin his assault. So there are still other developments from this entire thing. Apparently, from what we understand, it was also an AR-15 that was used allegedly in this shooting. It says that it says he used in the shootings he got at the Sunrise Tactical Supply in a strip mall in Coral Springs. At the store Thursday afternoon, a closed sign was on the door, and agents from the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and Explosives were inside. A National Rifle Association sign on the window. See, they're trying, from my cold dead end. See what they're trying to do? They're trying to connect this to the National Rifle Association. So that's what this little outlet is doing here. They're trying to say, yeah, the store that he bought the firearms from that is just as much responsible for this, they're a member of the NRA. So I see what the media is already trying to do here, how they're like stirring all this stuff into the big pot. A bumper sticker in the window said, "God bless our troops, especially our snipers." Oh, it's such a violent organization. Who cares about the gun shop? I mean, unless the gun shop specifically did something illegal, who cares? Peter Furselli, the special agent in charge of the ATF in South Florida, said that the shooter had purchased the gun legally. So then what's the big deal in describing what the gun shop looked like? Big whoop-de-doo. They've got an NRA sticker. Oh, this is clearly the NRA's behind this. It's clearly the NRA's fault because the gun shop that he bought this AR-15, this assault weapon, had an NRA sticker. So the NRA's to blame. That's the liberal left for you. See how they make these absolutely ridiculous, absurd connections when there's absolutely nothing of substance there? That is the bias that I'm talking about in the media. It's pathetic. This is what the report also says. Once you hit your 18th birthday, you can buy a rifle or any type of gun legally if you pass a background check, and that's what Furselli said. Peter Furselli, the agent in charge of the ATF in South Florida. Once you hit your 21st birthday, you can buy a handgun. Okay, so this kid legally bought a firearm. He legally bought a gun. He was the same age as I am. He's 19 years old. You're able to buy a firearm at that time. You can't buy a handgun until you're 21. Here in West Virginia, you can't open carry at 18 years old because we have constitutional carry here. You can conceal carry if you're 18 if you get a permit, but at 21, you have constitutional carry. But anyway, it says some of the restriction on gun purchases include if someone has been formally declared mentally defective by a court. One loophole is if a person voluntarily seeks a mental health treatment, a measure designed to encourage people to seek help. Illegal immigrants are also prevented from purchasing guns, which is, the way it should be. He was tricking some of these, ticking none of these boxes. Not tricking. He was ticking none of these boxes, said Furselli. So he was able to legally purchase a firearm. So guys, when it comes to strengthening gun laws or what have you, there's no way to go about that. There's no way to fix it so an incident like this can happen. There are other means of purchasing a firearm. What I would recommend is that we need to look at better ways to secure schools, because some lunatic should not be able to waltz right in to where there's a ton of children and do as he pleases. It's just absolutely insane. And they need to look and they need to get serious about it, both Republicans and Democrats. They need to get serious about it and look at better, efficient ways of securing elementary schools, middle schools, and high schools, and preschools. That shouldn't be too much to ask. That should be something that, regardless of if you are a Republican or Democrat, you should be able to get behind. You should be able to get behind the idea of finding effective ways to protect children. Okay? Because we've got to understand something as a civilization, as a society. There are bad people out there that do bad things. There are bad people out there that want access to children. And they should not be able to just walk into a school and do as they please. We do not live in that type of culture and society where we can have that luxury, where we can refuse to have that, type of limitation. We have to enact some type of security for the schools. I don't care if it's a pro officer, like what my high school has, or had. I don't go to high school anymore. I'm in college. But I don't care if it's a pro officer. I don't care if it's armed security. Whatever it may be, there needs to be a certain means of protection for these students. I would say that the best way would be having a pro officer. I haven't seen any article so far on here saying that there was a pro officer at the school. For those of you that are unaware of what a pro officer is, what the county does is that the county assigns a member of the sheriff's department, a sheriff's deputy, to serve as an officer that resides at the high school. They have an office at the high school, at the middle school, and at elementary schools, and they protect the schools at all time. Just to protect fights. When that has happened at our school, there have been times when they've done drug busts. That has happened, and these officers have taken care of that. Our officer actually now has a police dog. That was one of the great things that I was able to contribute to as the student body president last year. I wrote a letter to the county commission that they requested, and we were able to get a dog to reside along with the pro officer at the high school. So that was great. Our wonderful pro officer, that was his idea, asked me to do that, and he was able to very eloquently express that to the county commission of why we needed a canine unit at our high school to deal with a drug situation. And luckily, they were able to do that. Not only that, but it also serves as a great means of protection if there would be some sort of shooter. Because if you send one of these dogs on them, that dog can quickly grab a hold of that guy. That dog has a decent chance of running up behind that guy and getting a hold of him.
Some say he's the next Rush Limbaugh.
I tell you, this kid's got 90% of Rush's venom with only 10% of the biomass.
Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
Hey guys, so let me introduce you to a great website called mugthebookie.com. That is mugthebookie.com. They have a wide range of sports picks and sports news to choose from. You go onto the website and right there you'll find a bunch of news articles pertaining to sports, be it football, basketball, hockey, and all the others. Go to mugthebookie.com. That is mug, M-U-G, the T-H-E, bookie, BOOKIE.com.
So, you want to learn Japanese. You've tried all sorts of apps that mostly let you type answers and click on pictures. Can somebody please let me talk? Okay, Fluency 365 is here. Click on speak.fluency365.com. That's the numbers 365. Speak.fluency365.com. The only learning platform that gives you daily virtual speaking practice. To try your first virtual Japanese conversation now, visit speak.fluency365.com. Fluency only happens when you talk. Speak.fluency365.com.
Like the Fiancé, sung by Unit of Elite.
So do any of you ladies out there want to learn more about what makes men tick and how they work? Subscribe today to TG2M Magazine, also known as Talk Geeky to Me Magazine, founded by technology founder and editor-in-chief Casey Austin. If they like it, think about it, eat it, drink it, or wear it, TG2M talks about it. Their website is TG2mmagazine.com. That is TG2mmagazine.com. Their Instagram is at TalkGeekyToMe10. Their Twitter is KCKAYECEETG2M. So you can check out TG2mmagazine.com. Hey guys, let me tell you about our sponsor, NerdProWriting.com. NerdProWriting.com assists students in middle school, high school, and college with writing essays, and they do so as a service. They're a relatively new company, just started this year. For more information, you can go to nerdprowriting.com. That is nerdprowriting.com. Once again, that is nerd, N-E-R-D, pro, P-R-O, writing.com.
Have a brand, organization, or business? Consider becoming a sponsor of the Caiden Cowger program. Reaching over 6 states, the Caiden Cowger program offers wide coverage. I'm sure you've heard that radio is dead, but research shows that 93% of Americans listen to the radio, including 92% of millennials. That's greater than television, internet, and smartphone usage. Radio isn't dead. After all, aren't you hearing this? 84% of drivers cite radio as their primary in-car entertainment device. This means your sponsorship spot is reaching consumers closest to their point of purchase. In addition, talk is the second most listened to radio format. Sponsoring the Caiden Cowger program is actually quite simple. We tell our listeners who you are, what your business does, and how to get in touch with you. It helps you and keeps our program on the air. For more information, go to www.caidencowgerprogram.com/sponsor. That's www.caidencowgerprogram.com/sponsor.
This is President Donald J. Trump, and I would like to tell you, all of my loyal supporters, and you're all very loyal, to listen to the Caiden Cowger program on your local station. Caiden Cowger is a great guy, does an amazing job, loves Trump, and is making radio great again. His show is huge. Also, his Twitter account, @Caiden Cowger, is very bigly. So bigly, it's almost as good as Trump's. So go ahead and give him a follow. Let's make his Twitter followers number greater than Rosie O'Donnell's poor bathroom scale. Now that would be an accomplishment. You can also give him a follow on Instagram via @Caiden Cowger. Thank you, and let's make radio and America great again.
Caiden
All
Cowger.
right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Caiden Cowger program.
Somebody had to say
Great to
it.
have you with us. So, I'm really just looking at all of these articles pertaining to this entire incident. I will tell you this, too. The FBI was warned about this shooting. The FBI was warned about this shooting. According to BuzzFeed News, who actually did a decent job in getting this information out, by Brianna Sachs, BuzzFeed News reporter. She reported that the FBI warned about a school shooter from a YouTube user that had the same exact name as this shooter in September. This is all the way back in September of last year. The FBI was warned about this. This is what the article says. Last fall, a Mississippi bail bondsman and a frequent YouTube vlogger noticed an alarming comment left on one of his videos. The comment read, "I'm going to be a professional school shooter," said a user named the guy that shot up all these people. The YouTuber, 36-year-old Ben Benight, alerted the FBI, emailing a screenshot of the comment and calling the Bureau's Mississippi field office. He also flagged the comment to YouTube, which removed it from the video. Agents with the Bureau's Mississippi field office got back to him immediately. Benight said that they conducted an in-person interview with him the following day on September the 25th. They came into my office the next morning, and they asked me if I knew anything about the person, Benight told BuzzFeed News. I didn't. They took a couple copies of the screenshots, and that was the last that he heard from him. FBI agents contacted Benight again on Wednesday after the 19-year-old allegedly opened fire at a Majority Stoneman Douglas High School in South Florida, killing at least 17 people. In the wake of the deadly shooting, and they actually have the comment here of this guy making the remark. It was absolutely crazy and sick. Said, in the wake of the deadly shooting, questions have emerged over whether officials and acquaintances had missed the warning signs about the alleged shooter, a former student who was expelled from the school last year for disciplinary reasons. Classmates, relatives, and neighbors have described the shooter as being a troubled loner who often talked about guns and flaunted his obsession with weapons on his social media accounts. It says, and apparently was in a weird way, not like the, I'm, doing this for sports or I love firearms. He's more so, flaunting it carelessly on his social media accounts. And Jim Gard, a math teacher at the school, told the Miami Herald that the teen had previously been identified as a potential threat to other students. So then why weren't they prepared for this? Though his name matches the YouTube user flagged in September, FBI officials would not say whether he was confirmed as being the same guy. But around 4:30 on Wednesday, and this was 4:30 p.m., about 30 minutes after the shooter was taken into custody by the police in Broward County, Special Agent Ryan Furr with the FBI's Miami field office called Benight and left him a voicemail. Well, why would they be returning to this if this guy if this was not the same YouTube user? So right there, that serves as a, understanding for all of us that there could very well have been a strong connection between this YouTube user and the guy that actually shot up the school. Because the FBI wouldn't even call this guy back if there was no connection. Because they know if they've been investigating it, they know whether or not this guy that shot up the school has any connection to this other user on YouTube. So they do. It's a connection, probably. So that's what it appears to be anyway. They asked me if I knew who he was. I didn't. I don't, Benight said. Then they left. When contacted by BuzzFeed News, Furr declined to comment on the call and directed questions about the shooting to the FBI's Public Affairs Office. The office did not respond to multiple calls or emails on Wednesday night. At a press conference on Thursday morning, the FBI confirmed that it had received and looked into a tip about the professional school shooter comment on Benight's YouTube channel, but could not uncover any details from the account. No other information was included in the comment, which would indicate a time, location, or true identity of the person who made the comment, Special Agent Robert Lansky told reporters. The FBI conducted database reviews, checks, but was unable to further identify the person who made the comment. So it says that the YouTube account remained active until Wednesday evening. It has since then been deleted, however, due to multiple or severe violations of YouTube's policy on violence. YouTube did not immediately respond to BuzzFeed's questions about the account. On Wednesday night, Benight vlogged about the experience on his YouTube channel, and this is what he said. People leave pretty horrible comments on a pretty regular basis on this channel, and I really don't think anything of it, he told viewers. But this comment said, I'm going to be a school shooter, and I knew that I couldn't just ignore that. That's the BuzzFeed News article. Well, here's the thing, guys, okay? Pertaining to this entire horrible situation, this guy has a pretty unique name. The surname, I'm not going to, like I said, I'm not going to read the name off on air because I don't want to give him notoriety or popularity. If you want to know it that bad, you can look it up. But, you know, looking at it on here, the guy has a pretty unique spelling of his first name. Okay? And for that name combination, it's probably very unlikely for it to be anybody else. Just like Caiden Cowger, okay? For example, Caiden Cowger is a unique name. All right? You don't see too much of that. This is a similarly unique name way of spelling his name. Just like, you know, Frederica Wilson. Frederica. What's a Frederica? Okay? I mean, it's a unique spelling, a unique name. So, guys, I got to tell you, I'd say it probably is the same guy. And then for this to be associated with a school shooter, I mean, the connection is clearly there. And the FBI should have been looking into it more. It's going to be interesting seeing what further information develops as a result of this entire situation. But absolutely sick. You also have a hero that came out of this entire event. You had a phenomenal man who's being described as the football coach, or a football coach that's being described as a phenomenal man, that is. This is by CBS Miami. They have a story of heroism from a high school coach that has really, from what it sounds like, really went out of his way to protect kids at this school. This is from CBS Miami. At least 17 people are dead and at least 14 other injured. Many of them are being treated at the Broward Health North in Pomano Beach. This says that on the day of the Parkland community that witnessed one of the worst mass shootings in Florida's history, there's a story of courage and heroism about one man. The story is unconfirmed by authorities, but is being shared by many of the students, many of the staff. A lot of the students and parents are talking about one man, a football coach who, according to CBS 4 News, partnered the Miami Herald, was also a security guard at the school. That coach, identified by students and parents as Aaron Fease, may have acted as a human shield to protect some of the students. So this guy, his name's Aaron Fease, Feis, I believe I pronounced that right, Aaronfeis. He acted as a human shield to protect some of the students at this school. As crews opened fire with an AR-15, Coach Aaron, according to students, jumped in front of the bullets. One of the fathers whose son is on the football team shared the story with other parents. The coach was also shot. The father said he got shot by jumping on the guy. That's what I heard. So this guy was taking his own body, potentially sacrificing it for these kids. On Thursday morning, Broward Sheriff Scott Israel confirmed that the coach was killed and described him as a person who was beloved by the school and the community. So there you go. That's a hero.
Caiden Cowger.
Keeping America straight.
Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
Hey guys, so let me tell you about a great company, NerdProWriting.com. NerdPro Writing is absolutely wonderful. They assist students in middle school, in high school, in college with writing essays, and they're a company that can be of great help if you know somebody or if you are the one struggling in getting your work turned in. They have absolutely great professional services at a very affordable cost, so go there right now. That is NerdProWriting.com. That is NerdPro Writing.com.
Refresh, replenish, restore, and hydrate the right way with Progene Premium Electrolyte Enhanced Water. Unlock the alkaline pH performance power of professional athlete developed and fitness community endorsed Progene Water. Available in 9.5 pH electrolyte enhanced or our new all natural 8.0 pH additive free mineral spring water. Available at 7-Eleven and online at Amazon.com. Progene Water, hydrating the world one bottle at a time.
So you want to learn Spanish. You've tried all sorts of apps that mostly let you type answers and click on pictures. Can somebody please let me talk? Okay, Fluency 365 is here. Click on speak.fluency365.com. That's the numbers 365. Speak.fluency365.com. The only learning platform that gives you daily virtual speaking practice. To try your first virtual Spanish conversation now, visit speak.fluency365.com. Fluency only happens when you talk. Speak.fluency365.com.
Like the Fiancé, sung by Unit of Elite.
You're listening to the home of Caiden Cowger on your local station, America's youngest syndicated talk personality.
Have a brand, organization, or business? Consider becoming a sponsor of the Caiden Cowger program. Reaching over 6 states, the Caiden Cowger program offers wide coverage. I'm sure you've heard that radio is dead, but research shows that 93% of Americans listen to the radio, including 92% of millennials. That's greater than television, internet, and smartphone usage. Radio isn't dead. After all, aren't you hearing this? 84% of drivers cite radio as their primary in-car entertainment device. This means your sponsorship spot is reaching consumers closest to their point of purchase. In addition, talk is the second most listened to radio format. Sponsoring the Caiden Cowger program is actually quite simple. We tell our listeners who you are, what your business does, and how to get in touch with you. It helps you and keeps our program on the air. For more information, go to www.caidencowgerprogram.com/sponsor.
Like what you hear? We need your support. Consider becoming a patron of the Caiden Cowger program. As a member, you'll gain access to exclusive content only available to patrons of the show. Your subscription will help fund equipment, projects, promotion, and overall production of the broadcast. To join, go to www.patreon.com/Caiden Cowger. That's www.patreon.com/Caiden Cowger. Again, www.patreon.com/Caiden Cowger. And thanks.
This is President Donald J. Trump, and I would like to tell you, all of my loyal supporters, and you're all very loyal, to listen to the Caiden Cowger program on your local station. Caiden Cowger is a great guy, does an amazing job, loves Trump, and is making radio great again. His show is huge. Also, his Twitter account, @Caiden Cowger, is very bigly. So bigly, it's almost as good as Trump's. So go ahead and give him a follow. Let's make his Twitter followers number greater than Rosie O'Donnell's poor bathroom scale. Now that would be an accomplishment. You can also give him a follow on Instagram via @Caiden Cowger. Thank you, and let's make radio and America great again.
Caiden Cowger.
Somebody had to say it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Caiden Cowger program. So I have an audio bit here for you. This is from the local news, Channel 7, the news station over in Florida. And they have an account from one of the students of this great coach, Coach Aaron, down in Florida, who sacrificed his life to protect students. It also is a report here on a teacher that allegedly died trying to save students. Go ahead and listen to this. This is another great story that came out of this event of a heroic act being conducted by behalf of the school administration. Go ahead and play it.
Well, Lynn, Alex here was actually inside of a classroom when the gunman walked past her classroom, and she says she heard the gunshots, and she's telling us that her teacher did not make it out. What happened, Alex?
So we heard our fire alarm for the second time that day, which is weird, and we left the classroom, which he locked the door so we could leave. And when people were halfway down the stairwell, it just stopped. The alarm stopped, and we heard gunshots coming from the first floor, the second floor, and people were running upstairs, even from the second floor. And we all got upstairs and into our classrooms. And when he tried to unlock the door, me and a couple other people ran in, and as he was closing the door, he was actually shot and killed right there. And the door was left open the whole time, so as he walked by, the door was open. He could have walked in at any time, and we just had to be as quiet as possible.
Where did you run when that happened, Alex? You had to have been so terrified.
Yeah, I ran. I was waiting for my teacher to open the door, and after that, I just bolted into our same classroom, and we all hid in the corner, and that was it. That's all I saw until
and you ran with some friends, and your teacher stayed there, obviously, on the ground.
Yeah.
So he ran back to open the classroom for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
So you could be safe, apparently.
Mm-hmm. So when we ran in, he was about to close the door.
After they'd gotten back in, he was trying to lock the door to keep the students safe, and before he had a chance to close and lock the door, that's when he got shot.
Mom, what are your thoughts?
I'm just terrified. We just moved here from Canada a few months ago,
and
the thought that this would be where we would be with a school shooting is a nightmare. Never imagined.
To the teacher that possibly saved your daughter's life?
I feel sick about the teacher. Every time I think about it, I feel sick about it. I can't even imagine that he...
I'll tell you what they need. They need a mechanism. So if something like this happens, there's like an emergency button in the office or something where they can just hit a button, and like in a, it's kind of a bad way to put it, but like in a lockdown security prison, you hit that button and every door locks. And you need to make it so that once the doors lock, the lock can be deactivated from the room. So in other words, that once the button is hit and all the doors lock, you can also hit a button in the room that's like an extra security measure so that it can't be unlocked from the office, that it can only be unlocked from in that room. So that would be a quick way to lock all the doors. And then once that second button is hit in the room, it can't be unlocked by the office. Or maybe you just make it a one-way so that, that would probably be the best way. So you hit that second button, because then if there's no one in the room, then it would automatically lock and couldn't get in. But that would be a pretty decent idea, I think. Just they need to start just really letting ideas flow here of different ways that they could be looking into securing the schools. Because incidents like this cannot keep happening. Okay, you've got to look at security as being what we should be focusing on here, not gun control security. All right. So anyway, guys, I want to thank you for listening to us. That was also another teacher, by the way. That wasn't Coach Aaron. That was a separate story. Just wanted to correct that. But anyway, guys, I want to thank you for listening to us. For more information on the Caiden Cowger program, go to CaidenCowgerProgram.com. Keep everyone in the prayers. For the latest news exposing the left, go to CowgerNation.com. Thank you. God bless. God save this nation.